before I met Barry, I already met with the Chamber of Commerce. We met with the city secretary. We met with some of the other leadership there to speak with them. Then, of course, we meet with other neighbors. We grab a bite around our city, talk to people that are local there to know more about the city, right? We see those data in the open public domain, but there's something about you going there specifically too. So, and our data point is always spot on because it's not just you taking our word. We make sure you take the word of the leadership and what their vision is. And I'll tell you one thing from what I've seen, some of us always regret we didn't make a move quick in cities like Selina, Anna, Melissa, because we had the same information, but we just didn't move. That was the only difference, really. And there's always the second guessing of when people tell you what's going to happen. I moved to Anna, one of the best places in Texas to live, right? And when I moved there, I went with my wife. We went there to talk to the leadership, the planning and zoning, the economic development team, the Chamber of Commerce, everything they told us. I remember stepping out of one of their offices. I looked at my spouse and said, "Are you sure you're not just giving us some BS?" I just chuckled. Believe it or not, everything they said as times three. Everything. Because then it looked like nothing. But when a city has a vision, they have an economic plan, they don't play games. If they have a plan and you can see the plan, they don't play games. So I can guarantee you everything Barry said there. I have a good feeling I'll take my bet on him, to be honest, because it will happen. They have the funding for it, they have the vision for it. So it's on us to make a move. So, but that's the gist about it. Let Femi say one or two things. Femi is my partner, and Shem, we work together too. And Femi, you can say one or two things about the Gainesville project also.
Hi guys, my name is Femi. So I mean, we all have heard what Barry said, right? And a lot of what he said, we have those data out. We've done research on those data, and we know what's coming. And we've been doing this for a while, and we've been living in this area for a long time, and we've seen how this development has gone up. So looking at Gainesville, I mean, if you're coming from Oklahoma, you see that the Oklahoma cinema, and you can see lately the government is expanding that I-35 road. There's so much traffic now because people are moving to that area, and government expanding it. And I mean, yesterday I was driving through that area, and on the left, right in Gainesville, I saw like a complex, a multiple complex being built on the left. So it's a lot going on in Gainesville that we've seen, and that's why we approached it, and that's why we're offering the opportunity to you guys to be a part of it. And I mean, like Akin said, I'll take my bet on this anytime because I know right now what Undergrove is doing, what Bonham is doing, what Sherman is doing, what that area is doing, all the way down to Gainesville. So I'll take it. I'll take my bet on this, and I think you guys listen to Barry and think about it, then you can make your choice.
All right. Thank you, Femi. Awesome. Brashem, just say one or two words, then I'll quickly wrap up the slide deck. Then you all can ask all your questions. We'll tell you about the project specifically. Brashem, one or two words.
Thanks everybody for having me on the call. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. My name is Shem. I'm a real estate agent. My job mostly is to try my best to see how we can get the best land with a good load frontage, with a good lane, and then having all the attribute with the location and checking all that is needed and connecting the investors with getting a good title company, the surveyors, and once everything is done, we do our due diligence to make sure that what we provide is quality. And even though the time probably we people did not get Salina, not get prosper, now is the time people can get Gainesville. And we're here to guide and this, be able to win as a team.
I love it, Brashem. And I like that last comment. For most of us, we always regret, oh my God, I wish I knew, when I was in McKinney, Frisco, Prosper, Little M, to have gotten something. Don't let it go, man. I'll challenge you, let it go. All of us have those moments. The reality is that now is another opportunity for us all. Most time we second guess our decisions, especially around tangible real life investment like land. Unlike every other thing that can disappear, we'll tell you we've seen the trend line. Every one of our folks, some of you on this call that got land in places like Honey Grove, Bonham, Wolf City, every one of them that I know, their property has their appraised value is 30% more. Virtually all of them. In some now that's not the market value, right? So it's crazy. It's a data-driven business. Like Barry said, location, location, location. We're not going to take you to go buy some land where you tell me you want to wait and let the kids enjoy it. God bless our kids. We love them. But you know what? I have a feeling I want to enjoy my labor too before I think of kids too, right? So let's enjoy our labor too. And the only way that happens is we have to have good data point to show there's indication within 5 to 10 years we can also benefit from it. All our investment, we are conservative in nature, even though we know in our mind it could be sooner. Barry said 2 years, 3 years, right? I'm not going to go that far. I will say 5 years, right? Even though you should trust him more, but I'll still be conservative and say, okay, let's say 5 years, right? That's where we are conservative, even though we know the data point shows faster. But we always tell our folks, go with the mindset of 5 to 10 years if there's good data points. Okay. All right, let's quickly just wrap up the presentation. Then you all can ask all the questions you have, and we can. Okay, this was the video, but let me show you the video so you can actually see the land we're talking about. Then you guys can ask questions about it also.
Gainesville. So it's just amazing community restaurants in Gainesville right now. It's just a harvest of opportunity right now.
This is
Now for the
the
property
community
itself,
there.
right now we're excited. We have
This is the
over
property,
140
M&I.
acre of land available, and we subdivide each of those to minimum of 12 acres. It can range from 12 to 15 acres. Now the question you asked me is that why do we sell a minimum of 12 acres? In the state of Texas, it is important to make sure you have minimum of 10 acres so that you can qualify for an amazing initiative called the Agric Exemption. What does that mean? Agric Exemption simply means you pay less tax. That's all it means, really. It makes you pay less tax as low as 90% lower than your regular tax rate. So hypothetically, your tax is $1,000 a year. You're paying $100 for the year. It's amazing. Then for all our investment, we also help you to lease it out to farmers to maintain it for you. So you don't have to worry about maintenance. We take care of all that for you. We take care of helping you to sort out your argument. We have
All right,
title
let me
part
just
is
pause a little bit there.
reach us on
So
WhatsApp.
this is
You
the
can also
actual land that you all are seeing right now. And for some of you that have wanted to reach out, you can go to info@landzeo.com, or you can ping us on WhatsApp 214-649-8495. Now, a lot of you ask me why the ag exemption, why do we think of 12 acres minimum. In the state of Texas, if you buy over 10.5, I believe, you qualify for agric exemption. That means you're going to pay way less taxes because you're indicating you're using it for agriculture. And we have farmers that work with us, over 7 farmers we work with. They would lease your land and pay you for leasing the land also. Okay, so which is great. So for most of us, the amount I get in the lease is enough to pay your taxes for the year. Somebody has asked me, what, give me a scenario. So if you buy a land, let's say 11 acres in Frisco, Frisco is crazy. Maybe if an acre of land is 350,000, so that's about $3.6 million. Imagine your taxes on $3.6 million. But I'll tell you, if it's on ag exemption, your tax for the year for a $3.6 million property might be $600. Yeah, believe it or not, it's that crazy because it's just going to be designated as an agricultural place. So that's the cool thing about it. So another question you guys ask me a lot is, what the heck is 12 acres? So let me show you what 12 acres can do, right? So that you can put it in perspective, right? You can see here, you can put 9 football field in 12 acres. You can put 7 soccer field in 12 acres. You can fit 60 homes in 12 acres. 120 small homes in 12 acres. You can fit 24 large homes in 12 acres. So you can build a huge community in 12 acres. It is crazy. All right. So, anytime you hear the word 12 acres, ladies and gentlemen, it's some big stuff. It's a lot of land, believe it or not. So, and for us, I'll tell you, I'll say this confidently. For a lot of people that are focused and patient, this will change our lives in terms of financial and investment vehicle. Definitely. Definitely for most of us. Because 12 acre is serious stuff. For most of you, wherever you live today, if you had bought land there 8 years ago, imagine for a second that you had 10 to 12 acres in wherever you are. I don't know where you guys are living. Now, check how much those land are now. Just think for a second what that means. And that's not far off. For the younger generation, if you are less than 50, or oh my God, if you are less than 40, you are just, ooh, I envy you. You are just set for life, in my opinion, if you get this concept. And that takes me to something we're also doing here. I'll show you guys real quick. We started at Landzil, a program for high schoolers. Some of you, your kids participated in it. This Sunday, they would be going for a field trip in Gainesville. It's going to be an amazing one. And I'll show you guys what that looks like, the field trip for them. So the kids will be coming for this field trip. We'll show them land. We've taught them a lot. Your kids, if your kids are part of it, they've learned so much. Look at these amazing kids here. They're just awesome kids. This Sunday, they will be going for a field trip for about 4 hours. We go to Gainesville, the zoo, then they go to our facilities. It will be just an amazing time. The parents are coming to. So far, we have about 25 kids, then maybe 10 parents chaperoning. I think we have space for maybe five more people that if you want to be part of it, but you need to send me email to info@landzil.com. Just five more people only would have slots. If you want to, you can also be part of the process. Okay, somebody asked the question. Now, for most of the questions, I'll quickly do something. We have some frequently asked questions I'm going to quickly tackle. I'll be fast on those because we have about 9 more minutes. Okay. So, but these are the questions most of you have, and I have a feeling by the time I'm done, would have answered the questions. So let me just quickly run through the frequently asked questions for you all. Okay, let's go to. All right. So you know what we do already. All right. So let's see. Okay. Tax benefit for the land. Those are key reasons. Growth potential. We know that already. Should I? Why should I consider Texas? It's a no-brainer. Google it. One of the biggest place to buy land in the world today is Texas. AI data center, top location is Texas, Arizona, then maybe California right now. So it's crazy demand. Due diligence, believe it or not, we do the heavy lifting for most of our folks. We work out on a lot of deals that we see that are crappy. They might be, when you see a deal and it looks too good, it's probably too good, right? We do all the heavy lifting, the due diligence, the survey, confirmation whether there's a pipeline, there's an imminent domain issue. We check a lot of stuff. And if it does not make sense, long term, we walk away. So we do all that. And even your bank will do it anyway, the ones we finance with. So layers of due diligence we have in our program for sure. I'll skip this. Land Zeal, like I said, in conclusion, with Optimus Properties, we work hard to make sure your life is easy. You don't have to stress the heavy part of it. What type of land do we offer? Commercial, residential, agri. Most of our projects are mixed use, so which is good. We focus on North Texas right now because we understand it well. We understand the data point so well at the moment. So that might change over time, but for now, we know the data point. We know all the developmental projects coming, so that makes us very confident at the moment around here. The purchasing process very very straightforward. We have over five banks we work with, so the financing is there. Their down payment range from 15 to 35%, depends on your credit. So very easy, straight to the point. And most of our projects are first come, first serve, just to be transparent. So, if you don't move, we typically will give you a few times, then we just normally replace, then we'll still keep in touch and make sure we take care of you. Yes, we offer financing. We have banks that work with us, and they are very good banks. They specialize in agriculture loans and land loans. Then the minimum we sell is 12 acres so that we can qualify for the ag exemption. Are there hidden fees? No. Everything is transparent. You work with the bank, no hidden fee at all. Can you pay in full upfront for a land? Absolutely. You can pay upfront. Inspection for all our site now, we do ESA, environmental site assessment, so that we can test it. Even though we know that most of our land are good, I'll tell you why. They're already farming there. If it's a bad soil, crop will not grow, cows will not be able to eat there, right? So we know, but we still make sure we do that to keep our clients very comfortable. Zoning restriction, most of the areas we go to, most of the land we have, they are, you know, within the city or outside of the county at times, and they are mixed use. You can use it for anything. However, many times, the only restriction I know we typically see or we have would be you cannot put a trailer. And that makes sense, really. I don't want to buy a property and you put trailer and make it horrible for everybody else. But beside that, I don't think there's any major. Brashem, you want to say one or two things there?
Yeah, I want to touch on the other stuff that people try to do is they put like mobile homes, because what happens, you find you have a very quality land, you have spent so much money, then somebody goes brings a very old mobile home which look like more like junkyard,
Yeah.
and then sometimes some people might say no slaughterhouse. So that kind of to keep the environment to look, the neighborhood look more appealing. And one last thing I would like to comment is people will ask, why does Brother Akim talks about 12 acres? If we say 10 acres is the best, that you get ag exemption. At some point when you're ready to build or when you set it out, the county will assign 1 acre towards your homestead. So if you're 10, you are short. Now you're missing on your ag exemption. If the city, like you had, if they need to do some little expansion, they might ask part of your land whereby they need to expand it a little bit. So in those things, they will be able to find that those common amenities expansions, they might limit it. That's why 12 becomes a very magical number in that perspective.
Thank you, Brashem. Very good point. Another big one.